Now I think everyone likes it. But back then, no one was watching Merv Griffin but me.
Really?
When I was little, I mean, when I was 15, I didn't like come to school and we would laugh about Jeff Altman on Merv Griffin. I was just alone with it.
Wow. Yeah, I became a fan of stand-up, watching stand-up on TV, like watching like The Tonight Show and Evening at the Improv and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But really the big one, the run that really kicked in for me was my parents took me to see Live on the Sunset Strip.
Oh, wow.
And I was a teenager, young teenager. And I remember being in the audience while Richard Pryor was on stage slaying. And people were laughing so hard, and I was laughing so hard. I looked around. I'll never forget this moment. Because I looked around at the crowd while the movie was going on, and all these people were like, falling out of their chairs, slapping their knee, holding their chest. And I was like, this guy's just talking. He's just talking, and he's this funny. Yeah. This is incredible. I'm like, this is an amazing thing this guy can do. Like, I'd never seen real stand-up before. I'd only seen, like, you know, like someone on the Johnny Carson show do a couple minutes and tell a few jokes. That, in my mind, was what stand-up was. It wasn't until, and I'd listened to some of the old Bill Cosby stuff and some of the old Carlin stuff on records, but I'd never seen it, like seeing the movie Live on the Sunset Strip. And that didn't plant a seed like I can do it, but it did plant a seed like, holy shit, this is possible.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy that this is possible.
And it's still the best special.
It's one of the best ever, without a doubt. He holds up in a very, very unique way, where a lot of comedy from that era just, I mean, including Lenny Bruce, doesn't really hold up. Yeah. Like, it's because it's contextual. Like, if you were there in that time, it was groundbreaking. But that's not groundbreaking anymore because the culture has moved on so far, and a lot of that could be attributed to his insight. Like, Lenny Bruce's insight changed the way a lot of people thought and discussed a lot of, like, really important issues at that time. But there was something about Pryor's, his honesty and his delivery and his point of view that's, like, to this day, like, God, he was good.
There was a record they put out a few years ago where they didn't tell you what album it was, but it was just bits, and I think maybe a lot of bits that were recorded when he recorded an album but didn't make the album. Like, it was in eras like 70s, 80s, 90s, and when you listen to his stuff from the 70s, it's so militant.
Yeah.
It's so militant, and it all works perfectly today. Like, what he's mad about.
Yeah.
All applies to right now. And then when he goes honest about himself and relationships, you do feel it like, oh, there's not many people opening up like this.
Right.
Like, there's not a comparable person. There's a lot of comedians who talk about their lives, but he's ripping open the veins much deeper than anybody even now.
Sure, and he was talking about horrific addiction issues that he had back then. I mean, addiction issues that caused him to light himself on fire.
Yeah.
I mean, when he was talking about that back then, who the hell had done that? You remember he would do that thing where he'd light a match and move it around? Like, what? Who am I? I'm Richard Pryor running down the street.
Yeah.
Like, and joke around about lighting himself on fire and have the whole audience laugh. It was like, wow. It was crazy.
There was some bits where he talked about having multiple sclerosis near the end of his life, and he was still doing the Comedy Store. And on audio, they were riotously funny, brutally honest bits about, what it felt like to be that sick. And I don't think it ever was on an album before.
When he was doing that, when he was coming back to the Comedy Store, when he was really sick before he died, I was the guy who went on after him every night for like 5 weeks.
Oh, geez.
Every time he did a show. I bombed so many times going on after Richard Pryor. Oh, it was death.
And how was he?
Terrible. He was old, and he was sick, and he was drunk, and he was on pills, and he probably shouldn't have been there, but he just wanted to do it. It wasn't good. Like, it wasn't Richard Pryor. It was like they had. First of all, he was really unhealthy, so they had to crank the microphone up like.
Oh, so you couldn't even hear him.
Barely hear him, and he would like, I always love pussy. Like, there was nothing there.
Yeah.
He was just kind of talking and ranting, and he would, he'd be on stage with a drink, and people didn't know how to respond. And they would give him this amazing round of applause when he got on stage. And it took forever for them to get him to the stage because Chewy, who worked the door, and this guy Dave, would carry Richard Pryor to the stage and slowly just move him towards the stage. And all the time the people would be clapping, and then they would sit him down, and then they would put the microphone in place and crank that fucking thing up to 10, and then he would do his stand-up. But it was people almost like paying homage. Paying homage. They were there to see the great one.
Yeah.
You know, and he was there and he's still alive. It's like, wow, we're seeing like the greatest stand-up comedian of all time. He's right there. Wow. You know, it was more of that than it was like him doing really well. It was never like a good set. I never saw him kill.
And then you would come out.
I would eat dick. Just go up there and just eat plates of shit. People were so depressed.
There's no way out. What was your attempt to pull out of it?
I would go on stage and I would say, and now, ladies and gentlemen, an unknown white guy, after the greatest comedian of all time, this douchey-looking, Italian-looking kid. And I would just make fun of myself for a few minutes, and you know, and then sometimes I'd talk about how Richard Pryor was like, you know, huge, because it would take a long time for him to get off the stage too.
Yeah.
So that was the other thing. Like I would get introduced by Jeff, who's a piano man, and I would pass Richard and Dave and Chewy as they were carrying Richard off. Like you'd have to kind of move around them and then get onto the stage, and then you'd have to say, Richard Pryor, ladies and gentlemen. And sometimes you see people's eyes, they're like, fuck. Like, what did we just see? Like, this is so depressing.
Facing their own mortality.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And, you know, Richard, I remember, like, he wasn't supposed to drink, but he drank anyway, like, because they had him on all this medication. You're like, fuck you. We just kept drinking. Yeah, it was weird. It was dark.
I remember meeting him at a birthday party. I went with Jim Carrey to his birthday party, and it was sad. I mean, it was sad to see somebody that ill, and then especially when you think of just the power of the guy. Yeah. The just how crazy funny he was, because there's not that many people just to the core funny. I remember when Robin Williams used to come into the Improv in the late '80s, and he would kill so hard. There was just no way to recover. The room couldn't recover. It just, and there's not that many people who can do that now. I feel like people can follow each other now. You know, Louis comes in and you go on after him, and you know, and like he kills. But like when Robin Williams would come in, like you wanted to end the show.
If you're the lottery winner when you're 5, you know, and you win that golden power ticket, 500 million jammy when you're 5 years old,
and it's all made,
then you don't have to imagine you growing up.
It'd ruin your life.
You're like, listen, little Tommy, you never have to work again.
It would ruin your life.
What are you talking about? Grandpa bought you a lottery ticket when you were 5.
Yeah.
If you'd be so nice to give us some of that money, that would be nice. But you have $790 million. You're like, what? Grandpa put it in a trust, and it's all yours, and you can have it when you turn 18. But you could give us some of it now. You just sign right here. Come on, Billy. Come on. You would be fucked. Imagine growing up being like Richie Rich.
Yeah,
you know?
no, you'd be a mess.
You'd be like, what the fuck?
You'd be a mess. You'd have a face full of cocaine, chasing this feelings that you can't get just from practical everyday work.
Can you imagine? Remember that fucking commercial, that cartoon, Richie Rich?
Oh yeah, I used to buy his comic books. Every year at the Jersey Shore, I'd get his comic books. He always had new ones.
That's got to be one of the weirdest cartoons of all time. A really rich kid,
really
who
rich,
had all the money in the world. Well, all the poor kids would read it and go, "Fuck! I wish I was Richie Rich."
Man, this guy's got everything. He's got his own go-kart.
Look at him sitting there.
He's got bachelors. He's got a sundae, chocolates.
I want my little dear boy comfy while he takes a nap. Tee-hee. And he says, oh, well, thanks, Mom.
Well, thanks,
Mom. They bring
Mom.
over candy, and there's a butler dressed like that dude with the tailcoat, coincidentally.
But look at the name of it. It's Richie Rich, the poor little rich boy. Right? That's what it was. The poor little rich boy. Because he's not happy.
Care of.
Because he's not happy.
Right. Look, he's really sad. Well, first of all, look at the size of his ankles. Jesus Christ. Kid's got gout.
He's got the gout.
He's got gout for sure. But the dude who's got the ice cream sundae, he's the same, dressed the same as. Go back to the picture, please. The dude with the ice cream sundae is in
the very top.
Yeah. He's wearing the same clothes that we were mocking in that other thing.
Ah, that's right. You're right. He's wearing the tails.
He's wearing that's the whole same jammy.
He's got the whole getup. The 1800s getup.
See, I used to think about a guy like that, like in The Shining or something like that. Like when there's some butler, and I would think of, oh, that's a proper man. That's a man that he's the guy from The Shining, and he's just gonna come over and be proper, be
Yeah.
normal.
Normal.
But then as I got older, I realized, like, oh, no. That's a guy.
It's just a
That's
dude.
just a guy. And this guy has this fucked up job where he has to dress like he lives in another time period and wait on all these rich white people. Like, what in the fuck is this?
That's a tortured man right there.
Like, if you were a serious black rapper, like one of them guys with diamond teeth, wouldn't you get a
Diamond
a
teeth.
white servant like that guy?
Yeah,
with
that's
that
so
exact
funny.
haircut?
All white butlers.
Yes, all white butlers. Just like super high-end guys from England.
Yeah.
They're professionals.
It's true. Why don't they do
He's
that?
a professional butler, sir. It's hilarious.
I love diamond teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What is
poor
this?
little Richie Rich. He wasn't happy.
His name's Cadbury.
Cadbury.
Perfect butler.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
Cadbury,
Cadbury.
the perfect butler. Cadbury was his butler. Look at him. Oh,
The
Cadbury.
perfect butler.
Bring over that sundae. Look at that other poor kid. He's all deformed and shit. He looks like he's evolving. That other kid looks like his grandparents were those Australopithecus. And Richie Rich is like, I'll show you what it's like to be rich.
Well, I
that
never
poor-
had these.
Neanderthal-looking fella.
I never sat at a table before.
Look at that. Blow that picture of that kid again up. Tell me he doesn't look Neanderthal-esque.
He does. He has a monkey
He
face.
fucking straight up does.
He does.
He's got total Neanderthal thing
his
going on.
ears
His
are real
nose
low.
Isn't quite big enough, but they definitely gave him some odd features.
He does look terrible.
Yeah, he's got a bald patch in the back of his head. Looks like he got a bullet wound. Someone tried to scalp him.
Oh, poor little guy.
Poor little fella.
What was his name?
I don't know. Fuckface. It's Richie
Oh.
Rich Cadbury and his friend Fuckface. Oh, girlfriends. He's got girls.
I had all these comic
Look
books.
at this. Look at all the girls.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
Hit the bullseye.
So is one of them his mom? The lady with the blonde hair is his mom,
No,
right?
Little Lotta is her name.
Oh, but the girl with the blonde hair is
Right
his
here.
mom,
It's
right?
Little Lotta.
Little Otta?
Lotta.
Lotta.
Their names are written down up here.
Oh,
Little Audrey,
Little
Little
Lotta.
Lotta, Little Dot, and then
Oh,
Gloria.
Christ.
They're all his girlfriends.
Little Lotta, get it? She's big. You get it?
I swear to God, I'm having flashbacks from every summer as a child. I'd go to this bookstore and there'd be comic books, and I would buy these little Richie Rich comic books and go home and read them.
Look, he's looking at his
Success
shadow.
stories.
It's his
A dollar symbol.
bills for his shadow. When is
He's got
a
a hot
rapper?
girlfriend.
When is a badass rapper gonna recreate this picture for the cover of his album? I think that would be perfect for like Gucci Mane.
Richie Rich, yo.
Come on, tell me that wouldn't be. Have him walk away.
Let me Google.
Because he might have already done it. Because he takes a lot of pictures with his lovely wife. That would be a perfect picture for Gucci Mane and his wife.
Funny.
Dollar bill behind him. Holla.
Dollar bill, y'all.
Cha-cha-ching. It's so weird, right? What a crazy idea for a comic strip.
Bay Area rapper named Richie Rich. So
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and I don't remember it being like they weren't really sending a message like money isn't important.
No.
They were
That
literally-
was awesome. Wouldn't you want to be Richie? That was he didn't
That
think
was the
that shit
moral.
through. He could get ice cream whenever he wanted it. That was always the thing too. They're always getting ice cream. Cadbury, the perfect butler, frightfully fit.
Oh.
Yes, Mrs. Rich, one should keep fit. I exercise all the time.
How interesting, Cadbury. That's literally the lines. That's the comedy.
Look at the size of her arms.
Oh, they're like ham hocks.
Like she just mounts you and just wraps your head up in those arms and smothers you to death. You try to chew your way out, but you run out of air. You run out of air.
How
Kills you.
interesting,
She kills you with those
Cadbury.
meat flaps.
Get over here, Cadbury.
And if she's ever in trouble, she could literally leap off a building with those things and just glide to safety. Look at him.
Wow,
He's jacked.
Cadbury's
Jacked.
jacked.
Fucking jacked,
He
dude.
takes off his. Look at him on the left. He's ripped.
jacked.
He's going into a hot tub. He's got a towel on and no shirt. He's ripped.
When did Cadbury became so? And look at him. What a butler. Whoa, homoerotic.
What a butler.
So strange. Wait a minute.
I've been keeping.
You're putting your.
Oh, God, look what he says there. Gosh, I've been keeping you from your bath, Cadbury. I'm sorry. Please go.
No need for apology, sir. Someday I shall relate this story of how I was once lost all my clothes at the South Pole.
And then he says, "What a butler!" As he's walking him walk away with his tiny little towel around his junk. Look how little that towel is. Where do you even find a towel that little that makes it all the way around your ass?
Yeah, he's
Right?
It's
Like,
true.
every other towel
One
that's that
small,
little,
long
your dick
towel.
would be hanging out, son. You got to make a choice. You covering your dick or you covering your asshole, but you're definitely not covering both. Well, the towel that's that width. What kind of strange snake-like towel are you possessing? Makes
6
it-
inches across, 12 feet long.
Yeah, Cadbury got on the juice, started lifting, got a fitness coach.
That's so funny. That was very homoerotic.
It was weird. They were allowed to do weird stuff back then. Imagine if
Yeah.
you had that cartoon today. Fucking feds would show up at your door.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom Papa, let's see your fucking hard drive.
Another one of the pedophile conspiracy.
Creepy piece of shit. The fuck you been up to?
And a hope of an afterlife as
Yes.
well.
Yes,
in
and that is
particular.
the purpose and meaning, right?
Yes, I suppose that's right. Yes, I think that's right. I can understand why people might want to believe a priest who comes along and tells them you don't have to worry about death because you're going to survive it. I'm less understanding of people who make up stories to comfort either themselves or other people. I mean, a made-up story should not be comforting. I don't understand how a made-up story can be comforting. Of course, if you make it up and persuade somebody else, then they could find it comforting. On the other hand, is an afterlife really all that comforting? When you think about half of them believe they're going to go to hell, so it's anything but comforting. And also, even if you're not going to hell, if you're going to heaven, eternity in heaven, I mean, sitting in heaven for not just billions of years, but trillions of years. I mean, these are time spans beyond our comprehension. How unbelievably boring it would be.
Would it though? I mean, I don't know. I enjoyed life, but if I had to live my life over and over again, infinitely, if I had an infinite number of this exact lives, I don't know how I'd approach that. In the moment, I can enjoy it.
I could do with maybe 200 years, but after that, no. I mean, I think that eternity is what's frightening about death, and eternity is best spent under a general anesthetic, which is what's going to happen.
Right. Gonzo. Out go the lights. Maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. Have you had any experience with psychedelics?
No.
No? Do you have any interest in that?
I've been offered to be accompanied on a trip by a very nice woman friend.
Yeah?
And I've never so far dared take her up on it.
How come?
I asked advice of a cousin of my father who's just recently died, who was a major expert on psychedelics, and I think he was the one who introduced Aldous Huxley to mescaline, for example. And he judiciously advised against. He said that the horrors of a bad trip are so awful that he wouldn't advise somebody to go into it. My friend who's offering me this trip says it would be a relatively low dose, and she would take another low dose so she could kind of accompany me
Yeah.
and stop me jumping out a window or anything.
Well, there's so many stories in so many ancient religions that seem to originate with the consumption of some sort of a psychedelic.
Yes.
And, there's many, including John Marco Allegro's The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross.
Jesus was a mushroom.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's some, you could see the connection if you were a primitive person with no access to science and you found some mushroom growing under a tree and consumed it and had this unbelievable experience. You would assume that you've transcended this life and gone into this other realm where God exists.
I once thought that I would try a psychedelic when I was on my deathbed.
That's it. But what if it was amazing and you're like, I could have gotten so much done with
Yes,
this
okay,
if I had
maybe you're
tried
right,
this
yes.
out when I was 30.
Yes, maybe you're right. Yes.
I don't think anybody should do anything. I mean, I used to encourage people to do things all the time. Now my thought is do whatever compels you, whatever you feel like it. But I would think that a person like yourself, who has this sort of rigorous belief that the lights go out and then that's it, I would think that would be attractive to just at least dip your toes in.
Yes, yes. Well, don't you think the lights go out?
I don't know. I don't know. I've had some pretty profound psychedelic experiences that make me wonder what thoughts are and what consciousness is and whether or not there's some way that it transcends.
Well, I
where
wonder
we are
what
now.
consciousness is, but it's pretty clear that it's to do with brains, and brains decay, and so I wouldn't hold out much hope if I were you.
Well, you might be right.
Yeah.
You might be. Well, certainly consciousness does have to do with brains. And we know brain damage severely perturbs consciousness.
Yeah.
But there's some interaction with certain chemicals, and that makes this experience far different than what it is when we're on the natch,
I
as
believe
we are
that,
right
but
now.
it's still brains, though.
Yeah. Still brain, but that's it. Reductionist.
Nothing wrong with reductionism.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Not saying there is.
Footage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
the Showtime doc had like the footage of that show.
Oh, the show where he was prepping, like where he was getting ready for
Yeah,
the...
well, no, like the show where it just didn't go, like, with
so they
Stevie
filmed a
Wonder's
few
there.
of them?
Yeah, well, they filmed that strip show where he had to come back the next night and like kind of redo it. He just had like, he was just he operated from such a place of just like, it was so on. It had to be honest to him, I think, and it hadn't gone up in a while and was on stage and was just like in the room and just sat in it. he just sat. The footage is crazy.
Send me that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really.
Who's
crazy.
got the footage?
Well, it's in the doc. You can see
Right.
it in the
But
documentary,
is
like
there-
a little bit, but I think it's extended footage. I haven't seen the extended footage if that exists, but
There's some great old cassettes that I bought from like a gas station. There were Red Fox's comedy club. Red Fox had a comedy club, and Pryor would go up and just fuck around, man. Just fuck around. And there was many of them. I mean, there was like 7 or 8 recordings.
Mavericks Flats, I think it was, right?
That was the name of the company?
I think so.
that sold it?
Off of like Crenshaw or something over there, like in like.
Oh, where the club was?
Yeah,
I don't
was it?
know.
Oh.
I got them when I was living in Boston. And I found them like at a gas station. They were for sale.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was crazy because it was like it was small crowd. You could tell it was a small crowd, and Pryor was just fucking around, man. He was ad-libbing. You could tell that like it wasn't structured, and some of it was really funny, and some of it like kind of fell flat. And,
yeah.
and you could hear like the clink of glasses and shit in the
I love those
background,
sounds,
and
man.
it was just so real. Richard Pryor back then, he was doing something that it's like he had figured out a thing that he could do that other people hadn't figured out. And that thing was like just be totally honest and also just explore ideas on stage in front of people. Like not even have it mapped out yet. Just fuck around and find what's funny. And he'd be smoking cigarettes and just talking, and he figured out a way to turn, and then you would see it boiled in to like Richard Pryor Live or Live on the Sunset Strip or any of his specials. You would see it boiled down into that.
Yeah. Doing it for he performed for television really well. And that's like kind of an element that I think people kind of forget, that like how well of it connected with you watching it at home. Like,
Yeah.
even me 20, 30 years later after it's filmed and just watching it with my dad, he plays really well here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, to you, it's like you can feel how personal, how honest it is. And like, so when it was like boiled down, it was just, he was also captured really well.
Did you ever see him live?
No. Pryor?
Yeah.
Wait, how old do you think I am?
No, he was alive doing stand-up 10 years ago. Yeah, maybe a little bit more. Maybe 15 years ago.
Yeah, well, he
When
died.
did he die? Maybe it was more than 15 years ago. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Did you ever see him live?
Yeah, I had to follow him for like 5 weeks in a row, man.
Really? Where,
Yeah.
like a run and
5.
2005 he died? Okay, so it was more than I thought.
like a
13 years
run.
ago. He did a run before he died. It was probably right before then. Actually, I want to say it was like the late 90s, early 2000s, somewhere around then. He was real sick, and they would have to carry him to the stage. And it would take like 5 minutes for him to get to the stage. So they'd introduce him, and the comic would get out of the way. And then Chewy and Marilyn Martinez's husband would help him walk to the stage. They would hold on to him, take him to the stage. It would take forever. It was a slow process. And they'd get him, and they'd sit him down, and they'd crank up the mic like this. Because his voice was so soft
feeble
then.
and yeah.
Yeah, and he would do stand-up.
Mm.
Do like 15, 20 minutes, and then I would go on after him almost every time. It would be me. And just eat shit. I would just eat shit. Because first of all, nobody knew who I was, and second of all, they just saw Richard Pryor and they're sad because he's fading away right in front of everybody.
Yeah, it's an interesting feeling. Like never before has like a British type intermission been needed more.
A British type intermission.
You know, like where it's just like, all right, Richard Pryor is gone, and 15 minutes, people go smoke cigarettes, come back.
What year did you start doing stand up?
2008.
Yeah, so you missed it.
Yeah.
Did you go to the clubs at all before then to look around?
No. Well, 2 nights before my first time.
2 nights before your first time?
2 nights before my first time, I went to the Comedy Store.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you have
my first day in LA? I saw the whole show 9 to 2 a.m.
Wow. You sat through the whole show.
The whole show, did the open mic that Sunday.
Did you find about the women with the investments?
I was waiting to.
Oh, good.
From Newsweek in July.
Okay, what does it say?
Is like right here.
The upper echelons of money and power, blah, blah, blah. According to Forbes, the world's 15 wealthiest people are men. Women only make up 10% of the top 100 separate wealthiest women in the world. Most of their money comes from their male relatives or husbands. Yeah. The top 10 wealthiest men made their fortunes themselves.
Now, who are the top 10 wealthiest women that didn't get it from divorce?
Oh, here they go. Though.
Oprah's got to be
Hold
up
on
there.
a second. Yeah, she's up there. The first self-made woman on the list is, wow, I don't know how to say this woman's name. Zhou. That's one word. Qunfei. Zhou Qunfei, who was born to a poor family in China, dropped out of school at 16. She went on to found an enormously successful technology company. But if you put men back into the equation, she's only 198th richest person in the world. No matter how you feel about the concept of few people hoarding enormous wealth, the notion that women can only access money and power through their families or husbands seems medieval at best. Yet we see it occur at the very top of many professions outside of the business world. Yeah, it's most people.
Can you read the next stuff?
Yeah, a recent
Hillary Clinton?
high-profile example is Hillary Clinton. During her presidential campaign, the first female major party nominee, she campaigned on a ticket of empowerment, yet although she is accomplished in her own right, she entered politics as the wife of Bill Clinton and has undoubtedly benefited from his prestige and connections. Yeah, well, that's true, but she also
I
was
thought it
a
was
lawyer.
about money. I didn't mean for you to read that.
She was a lawyer and she was a senator.
Now, Oprah's up there as the world's richest women, period, like that have made it on their own.
That's a weird thing because they're saying I'm not a big fan of Hillary Clinton, but by saying she definitely entered because she was, she was married to him, but she was a lawyer. I mean, she's an accomplished person. She's educated, accomplished. She was a senator. I don't think that makes sense.
I hate when people say shit like that. You know what? You're at the right place at the right time, bitch. And you jumped.
Yeah.
You jumped, bitch. So that's the problem. I'm not mad at nobody. You can't say she got into... Yeah, she may be a little help, a push here, a call here, but she jumped.
There's a great book I'm reading right now. It's called Outliers by Malcolm McDowell. It's fucking great. And it's all about what makes people successful and why they were successful. And there are a lot of factors, man. There's a lot of factors in when you were born, like a lot of it, he goes on about hockey players, about professional hockey players, that almost all of them were born at a certain time so that they were at the end of the age cutoff. So like say if, you're between 10 and 11 when you go into, what is that, 5th grade? If you're one of the oldest kids, you have a way better chance of being successful at hockey because your body's more mature than whether you're one of the youngest kids that goes into 6th grade. So whether you're 5th grade or 6th grade, like what year you were born is a big factor. So the kids that were born later, so that they're older, rather, the kids that are older when they enter into the 5th grade or 6th grade, they're like across the board, unanimously, all the top level professionals were all older kids in younger grades. So that they're playing against smaller kids, they get more time, they're better, so they get more coaching, they get more hours playing. There's a lot of factors. There's a lot of factors in, like one of the things about Bill Gates. That there's a whole great chapter on Bill Gates and about when Bill Gates was young. The the school that he went to had a computer class that allowed him to do coding, and then he got into the University of Washington. They would let him get into their computer room from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. They had this open block, so him and his friends would sneak into that place at 3 o'clock in the morning. So all these different factors that lead to someone being like super successful. It's not just that you work hard. It's sometimes you get these weird advantages in life. There's a bunch of things. Like for sure, hard work plays a factor. If you don't do nothing, you just sit around and woe is me and cry and think the world's fucked, you're not going anywhere. But the people that make it to the very top, the Bill Gates, the Steve Jobs, they have a bunch of things going for them. It's not just hard work. It's also fortune, where they are, who's around them, who encourages them. There's a bunch and what time they were born, in what age they were when certain things happened in the world. There's a bunch of factors. But for all those chicks, it's just marrying the right dude. Getting divorced. Getting paid. I know a lady who just got paid from a divorce, and she's just shooting shit into her face and banging 20-year-olds now. It's hilarious. She's in her late 40s, banging 20-year-old dudes.
How rough must that be
It's funny, man.
To cut that check.
For the guy?
Yeah, that's a hard.
Rough. I've known guys. I knew a guy who he cut a check for somewhere in the neighborhood of $50 million. Yeah, to his ex.
I know a guy who cuts a check for $30,000 a month. Gee, $30,000 a month. He
I know a couple guys who pay that.
And that was not beside the $500,000 up front.
Oh yeah,
the house.
Yep.
2 cars. Like he just walked away.
I know a guy who's paying close to that, and he hasn't even seen his wife. He's been married to a different woman, for 14 years. At least, 14 years. And he was only married to that lady for 12. And he's still cutting her checks. And no kids. He's got kids with the new woman. The old woman, no kids. Still cutting her fat checks. Tries to bring it to court, try to reduce the amount of money. She fights him tooth and nail. You son of a bitch, you left me. He left her 14 fucking years ago, man. They were only together for 12 years. It's like she doesn't want to work. He fucked her so hard she can't work anymore. It's crazy. If it was a man, if the situation was reversed and a guy was dating a girl and they were dating for 12 years and she was like, I'm tired of this. I'm going to go fuck some new dude. And the guy took her to court, got money from her, and wanted money still 14 years later. What kind of a fucking man would that be? Like, get a job. Go do something with your life. You are a human being. You met another human being. You spent some time with them. They don't want to be with you anymore. It's over. Like this, there's no children.
Now, what
to
are you
take care
going?
of.
What do you tell the judge that you want your lifestyle, right?
Yes.
The lifestyle that you were accustomed
I
to.
want to maintain my lifestyle, Judge. I like to buy nice purses. I like to walk my little dog. I like to put him in a little purse.
Now, in California, there's different factors also. You have to be with that person for 10 years or something, right? There's little factors, a couple by the ways.
There's factors, and they change, depending upon the laws, and they change depending upon how much money you make. And, my friend was pretty wealthy. He did well. But the guy who I know that had to pay $50 million, he's real successful, obviously. You got to make a lot of money to give your wife $50 million. But he still had to give her $50 million.
I see the kid. Listen, I see the kid point.
5-0, baby.
I see the child support point,
Here's the
and
list.
I see a little bit of help.
There's the list.
Here's the unique one.
Oh, Madonna's divorce from Guy Ritchie, estimated 76 to 92 million. She had to give him.
She's the first woman listed first on this.
Damn, she had to give him 76 million. Way to go, Guy Ritchie. I like to have him back here. Now I know how you buy those suits, motherfucker.
Now, what's his name? Pays the singer from Bush.
Look at this. Michael Jordan's divorce from Juanita Jordan, $168 million. Mel Gibson's divorce in 2006 after 26 years.
$425 million.
God damn. Stop scrolling. Look at this. Jesus Christ. Steve Wynn's divorce 2010. 1 billion. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Steve Wynn. 1 billion. Rupert Murdoch's divorce in 1999 after 31 years of marriage. 1.7 billion.
Neil Diamond, 150. Harrison Ford, 118 million.
Whoa, Harrison Ford. Well, I have Evander Holyfield. We're scheduling Evander Holyfield. I'm excited. I'm a huge Evander Holyfield fan. But he was one of the rare guys that put on the mass and moved up from cruiserweight to heavyweight and fucking still never got tired. I mean, Evander never got tired.
Because he put the work in.
Crazy work ethic. And he was a guy that got thick and muscular, but it didn't slow him down. It enhanced him, you know? Especially when you get into, like, the Tyson fights. Like, that muscle didn't hold impact at all. And he was fucking jacked. I mean, he was in comparison to cruiserweight Evander Holyfield, you look at heavyweight Evander Holyfield, like the Riddick Bowe fights. God.
Yeah, he did swell up a lot.
Fuck, he was
He
jacked.
was cut, though. He
Yes,
was cut up.
chiseled. Yeah.
That's what Joshua should do. Should cut down a little bit, chisel up, and get mobile. He's
Do
not
you
mobile.
think that, and this is something that he got mad at Lennox Lewis for saying that he needs to change camps. Do you think that makes sense?
Maybe he should sit down with his team and figure out where they went wrong at. I don't think he should change everything.
The word was that he had gotten knocked out in training. Mm-hmm. That was you heard that as well?
By Joey.
Well, if Terrence Crawford heard it, shit's got to be real. That's what I'm saying. I'm putting it on
say
Twitter now.
I won't say if it was real or fake. I'm just saying I heard it.
You heard it,
you
yeah.
know, but you know,
most people heard that.
rumors go around and everybody hear it, and it's not even true. But
That could happen, right? Like Richard Gere with that gerbil up his ass. Remember that one? Do you remember that rumor?
I heard that.
Everybody heard that. Right? You never heard that?
he said a gerbil up his ass?
You heard it, right?
Yeah,
Tell him the rumor.
I just heard the rumor. I don't know how
When
it
we were
happened.
kids, there was a rumor that Richard Gere had to go to the hospital to get a gerbil taken out of his ass. Now, I grew up on the East Coast. My friend Eddie grew up in California. He heard the same story. I was like, this is the same goddamn rumor. Like, how did this rumor get across the country with the same age?
Right.
No internet. The rumor made it all the way across the country when we were in high school.
So was it true or not?
Probably not. I think you get a gerbil out yourself. You don't need to go to the hospital. You know, that is not worth the embarrassment. You'll take some time and go to the store and buy some tweezers.
All right.
But you don't need to go to the hospital. Just get a mirror and some tweezers. We could handle this. We don't need to let everybody know our business.
Right.
The other one was Rod Stewart. Rod Stewart, there was a rumor when we were in high school. It was pre-high school. That Rod Stewart had swallowed a bunch of jizz and had to go to the hospital and get his stomach pumped. There's probably some guy who Rod Stewart fucked his girlfriend and he started
Rod
spreading
Stewart,
this rumor.
the band guy.
Yeah.
Now that probably is true.
I don't think so because I think when I hosted Fear Factor, we made people drink cum. They had to drink donkey cum. You could drink it. You could drink a lot of it, and you're fine. I don't think you have to go to the hospital.
I'd have been like,
See,
it's over with.
My experience on Fear Factor taught me that I don't believe that Rod Stewart ever had that real problem.
Hey, so did you ever do any of those attempts?
I ate some shit. They wouldn't let me try any of the stunts because of insurance purposes, or they had a clause in the insurance doesn't let the host just try it out for fun. Like I wanted to drive some of the cars off buildings and shit, but they wouldn't let me. We had one where they hit a ramp off the top of a building. They hit a ramp and the ramp flipped the car through the air and they flew and they landed on these cardboard boxes. They stacked these cardboard boxes up like several stories high, and that's how they would get these cars to land softly. So the car would boom, hit the cardboard boxes and just slowly sink down. And then they would use a crane, flip the car over, and then they could use that car again. It didn't even get damaged.
Wow.
So these people would fly this fucking car up. It looked like the craziest amusement park ride ever.
And you wanted to do
Oh,
it.
fuck yeah, I wanted to do it, man. And I'm like, come on, let me do that one. It looks easy. I'll do it for the promo. Like, come on.
I'd be cool with jumping out the plane.
Yeah, we didn't do any of that, but we did have people bungee cord jump off of a fucking helicopter. That was crazy. We had people with a cord that was attached to a helicopter, and then they were hooked up to a tree, and they had to unlock themselves from the tree. They had a ring of keys. They had to find the right key in a certain amount of time, and then when they did it, they unlocked and twang, they went flying through the air because they were attached to a bungee cord, and the bungee cord was underneath a helicopter, and it would go fucking launching them out into the middle of this crazy canyon. I was like, oh my God, someone's going to die. Someone's going to die. This isn't worth it. This job's not worth it. There was a couple times where I thought someone was going to die.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Stupid. Ridiculous. I'm glad we got through it with nobody getting hurt. It was like,
Yeah.
Who all came up with the stunts and all that?
there was a bunch of people. They had a whole team. There's teams of people that came up with the eating stunts. There were the B team stunt guys, and then the A team stunt guys was the first stunt, and then there was the C, which was like the big championship finale thing. It's a ridiculous show.
That's tough.
Man, I used to watch that show all the time.
Yeah.
Dude. All the time.
I can't even believe it's real. I watch it to this day. I was like, is that really me? What is that? So long ago.
I remember I used to watch Jackass.
Jackass is amazing. Those guys are alive. Steve-O's so healthy. He's fine.
Talking about making a 4th movie.
Oh, no!
Yeah.
Hey, they used
They're
to
rolling
get
that dice. They're rolling that dice. Someone's going to die.
Damn.
That's crazy.
I only seen glimpses of that.
Johnny Knoxville was a movie star for
Man.
a while, right? Is he still doing big movies?
Yeah, I think so.
He was doing big movies, and then he was still willing to let a bull hit him. He put a blindfold on and stood in front of a bull, and the bull
Yeah.
just fucking launched him through the air. I'm like, blindfolded.
That's just dumb as shit.
That's the
That's
dumbest
why they call
fucking
it
thing.
Jackass.
It's like
to do a whole
those
bunch of
guys
those.
got fucked up, man. I mean, they're taking some beatings. Some,
Just
like,
so we can
real
laugh at
beating.
them.
Yeah.
Crazy.
See, what you do is control who gets fucked up.
Right.
That's what I like about boxing. When I watch boxing expressed at the highest level, it's like one guy's controlling who gets fucked up, you know?
Yeah. Whether the guy like it or not.
Whether the other guy likes it or not. I had lunch
Or
with
button.
Eric Von Daniken last week.
Oh my God.
Yes. Very interesting. Very weird.
Yeah.
He's the guy who wrote Chariots of the Gods.
Oh,
He's
God.
Yeah.
In his 80s now.
Staple book in our house.
And he was showing us slides.
What's the real story there? I was wondering.
Mostly nonsense, unfortunately.
Was it really?
Yeah, mostly what it is
Love that documentary.
evidence of lost civilizations, ancient civilizations that were incredibly advanced. I follow the work of Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson and a few other people that are being proven actually correct more and more, almost on a daily basis, by new discoveries that show that that civilization predates what we initially thought. With
goes way back farther.
Yeah.
The initial thought was that somewhere around the Great Pyramids, which is like 2,500 BC, that was about as good as anybody got. And you go back to like ancient Sumer, which is about 6,000 years ago, and then that's basically it. What they're saying is that, no, there was most likely a reset, a global reset of civilization due to a cataclysmic disaster. And there's a shit ton of evidence. There's massive evidence in the form of this nuclear glass that exists when there's asteroidal impacts. And also, there's a guy named Dr. Robert Schoch, who was one of the first guys to propose this. It's actually, when he freaked me out on the podcast, he said there was a mass coronal ejection that most likely caused lightning storms like a rainstorm, but lightning. Like that much lightning
terrifying.
destroying the ground. And that the only people that survived were people that could get undercover, that could get into like
That's
caves.
terrifying.
Yeah, and that mass extinction of 60+% of the large mammals in a very short window of time, almost instantaneously in North America. The end of the Ice Age, like 10,000 plus years ago, there was a mile high ice in most of North America.
Right.
Most of North America covered in ice, and then gone. And all these areas, all these points of interest point to this one moment in time that's somewhere between 10 and 12,000 years ago that some big event happened, and that most likely just crippled civilization, and then people had to rebuild. Whatever people were around rebuilt.
Well, that because also that they found, like, just looking at DNA, that all of humanity at one point got wiped out except for like one village. That there was only that everyone has descended from the same group of about 5,000 people. That
Well, there was
survived.
a super volcano that erupted somewhere around 70,000 years ago. They think this is predating this cataclysmic disaster of 12,000 years ago, that they are pretty sure wiped human beings down to a few thousand folks.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you think all
where's
the
that
culture
one?
and
Is
all-
that like, I want to say it's, where's that super volcano? There's a super volcano that knocked everybody down. We'll find it.
Yeah. Well, we got one under Yosemite, right?
Well, it's
or Yellowstone.
giant.
One under
Yellowstone.
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 It's a caldera. It's
Yellowstone's going to get us all.
every 600,000 to 800,000 years, it blows.
I think we're due, right?
That's
Yes.
why I don't go camping.
Don't
That's
go
right.
camp. Well,
Yeah.
if you do, that might not be the worst place to go.
No.
Like go camping.
Be over in
that
a
way,
second.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
way when it ends quick. You don't want to be living in New York.
No.
just choking
Just
on
a cloud
toxic
of dust.
fume.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Watching people eat homeless folks in the street.
Yeah.
There's no
can
there's
do that
no
now in New
good
York.
place. Yeah. Well, there's also like things that fly through space and zip by. You know, like they're
just miss us.
constantly
Well, that's-
finding these things.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, it's things. The Eric Von Daniken thing. I remember as a kid going. My problem was that they kept showing these massive paintings that can only be seen from the sky. So
Yeah.
therefore, there must have been drawn for aliens. And I kept going, well, no. If you believe God is looking down on you, you're going to draw big paintings for God to look at.
Right.
So you don't need that. But now,
Right.
I'm more the thing I've become obsessed with lately is the skepticism about UFOs.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to talk to you about this, because you told me that you've become obsessed with UFOs recently.
Yeah. Oh yeah, completely. And it's
Believer?
like, yeah, totally.
Really?
Yeah, I totally believe the UFO phenomenon is real. I don't know what it is, but it has to be real.
Something's happening.
Why is that?
Because there's just way too much evidence that it is real.
What evidence?
Radar evidence that the F-16 locked on a UFO, that footage, and also just like I know that a friend of ours, I don't know if she wants to say it, but her father was an air traffic controller, and he told her, they said, yeah, every air traffic controller has seen something.
Yeah.
And I had another friend whose father was a commercial pilot, and she said, yeah, my dad said every single pilot has seen something. And they've all been told not to say anything about it.
We have a couple of friends that say they were abducted.
Yeah.
Yeah, the abducted one is a little easier to wrap your head around, because when you're sleeping, your brain is producing all sorts of endogenous psychedelic chemicals.
Yeah.
Almost all of these experiences happen when you're sleeping. Almost all these experiences when these people are abducted, they're taken from their beds, which is when they're dreaming.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like there's some real clear, easy steps to follow if you want to follow Occam's razor and not get crazy with
But
it.
it knocks those out, but it doesn't knock out like Barney and Betty Hill and all the people that are abducted while fully conscious and that remember it without hypnotherapy. Like I'm not sure about the abduction phenomenon, but
I don't know Barney and Betty Hill. I know the story,
Yeah.
but I don't know them.
Yeah.
So I would have to know them, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that I've like I did a show for Sci-Fi called Joe Rogan Questions Everything.
Yeah, I
And
watched that show.
That cured me. That
Yeah.
show cured me of a lot of my nonsense with conspiracies.
Well,
and,
we used to talk about
yes,
that stuff all the
yeah,
time.
all the time.
Yeah.
yeah. But I needed to actually study it. So for 6 months, that's basically all I did. I interviewed people, and I like Bigfoot believers, UFO
Yeah.
believers, all. And the one thing that they have in common is they all seem to be kind of lost and dependent upon this thing being real.
Yeah.
Right.
Instead of being objective, there's only one lady that I interviewed that saw Bigfoot that
Yeah.
really seemed to be telling the truth. But I think she saw a bear. I
Yeah.
think bears walk on 2 feet all the time. They do it all the time. There's
Yeah.
video footage. You can find it all the time. And she was in the Pacific Northwest, which is incredibly dense woods. You see something, you glimpse it. Look, I was hunting once in Canada, in Alberta, and I thought I saw a wolf for like 2 seconds. It was a squirrel. Okay? Understand
Yeah.
this.
A
This
very
is,
big
like, is that a
squirrel?
what is that? Wolf? No, it's squirrel.
Yeah.
No, I just saw fur.
Right.
I saw
Yeah.
fur, and I was, because it's really
But you're
dense
convinced.
woods. Because I was looking for fucking wolves. Because I was like, because I know we did see one wolf. It crossed the road. It was either a wolf or a coyote. It was hard to tell because it was at dusk. It was very dark out. But when you're looking for something, you think everything is that thing you're looking for.
Yeah.
So like for a second,
Expectations are huge.
I thought that fucking squirrel was a wolf.
That's funny.
Yeah. Well, expectation and perception are very linked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, there's also that they found that 50% of everything you see is a product of memory.
Yes.
That when you observe something, they've done fMRIs, and that most of the activity in the brain is in the memory centers, not in the visual centers.
Interesting.
Only about 50% of the activity is in the visual centers of the
You
brain.
know, the UFO.
That's crazy.
The UFO
Yeah.
thing is very. When I was a kid, I went and saw Carl Sagan speak at U of T at the University of Toronto, and I was like, 14. But he did an equation on the board of the possibility of alien life other than us in the universe. And it came to the smallest. I mean, he spent the whole time writing on this chalkboard. It was fascinating. But he actually came up with a number at the end. And it was such a small. He says there is something out there, but they are so far away that that unless they can go faster than the speed of light, which he said was impossible at the time. This is the 70s.
Yeah.
There's no way we've seen them. That's what he said. So if some other beings have conquered the speed of light thing, then maybe we could see them.
Yeah, but that's a thing with the problem with this skepticism in general is like that it, you know, like the skeptics of the 19th century were the ones who said germs don't exist,
Right, because we can't see them.
and people who said germs did exist were ridiculed and laughed out of the trade, right? And
I agree with you completely. Just because you can't see it or it isn't happening doesn't mean it can't happen.
And even since Sagan's day, there had been no exoplanets discovered then.
Right.
We now know
Right.
that there are literally trillions and trillions of Earth-like planets.
Yeah, well, they just speculated as to the existence of them outside of our solar system before. The real problem is that if there's a leap, a technological leap that opens the doors to massive innovation.
Yeah.
That once this happens, and then all this stuff sort of exponentially expands in terms of technological possibilities, all you would need is a few hundred years, and you have an unrecognizable set of technology.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, I mean,
Well, you were talking about CERN. I mean, the
Yeah.
whole antimatter idea that they're still trying to figure out.
yeah,
That's an insane source of energy that
Sure.
we have never even experienced.
Yeah.
You know, with a grain of sand that
Yeah.
can run a city. I mean,
Yeah.
it's that big.
yeah,
Yeah.
You
And
know?
then there's also the theory, there's a recent one, that space-time itself doesn't exist. So the speed of light barrier becomes moot because there's, I guess it's the quantum holographic theory of the universe.
yeah.
That-
Is that
There's also
Michael
gonna-
Talbot's book?
I can't remember.
Holographic Universe. Is
But
that
it's,
who wrote that?
Yeah, I think so. But the idea that the universe is basically just a geometry that when you look at it from a certain angle seems three-dimensional.
Right, and it folds into itself,
So-
so you could
And it's a way-
travel through. That's the wormhole thing.
Well,
right,
it's not even that. It's
For
the idea
travel.
that space-time is an illusion, and that it doesn't really exist, and that's why entanglement is possible. You know, the idea that spooky action at a distance.
Yes.
That
quantum
Quantum
theory.
entanglement.
Yeah, but the reason that these atoms on opposite ends of the universe can affect each other instantaneously
At the same
is 'cause-
moment.
is because they're not really at opposite ends of the universe. They're really right next to each other. It just seems like they're at opposite ends of the universe.
Because our ability to perceive is basically based on what we have to do to stay alive on this planet. So our meager little chimp brains are trying to quantify all of these things that are around us all the time. So we put them into this sort of three-dimensional box of movement and distance and
that the
time.
entire universe could be a compact thing
Yeah.
that projects itself like a hologram onto a screen.
I love these kind of conversations because I'm clearly too stupid to really understand what we're
And
saying.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't understand anything I just said.
And I don't understand you two, so how stupid does that make me?
Well, we don't understand each other. So
This is perfect.
We're all the same. Yeah.
But that's why, I think it would be interesting to do like a documentary or something about ufology, because one thing is that the assumption that they're extraterrestrial is an assumption. But the thing that intrigues me is the power of ridicule to silence even the most intelligent people in our community from examining something. Like the ridicule kept doctors from accepting germs.
Sure.
Because they didn't want to be ridiculed by their peers. And even now, you've got people that will, like Michael Shermer, will cling to the most absurd explanations for phenomena like the F-16 radar footage.
What was Michael Shermer's
I can't
take
even remember
on
it, but it was pretty. It really went to great lengths that entailed having to basically diminish any respect you had for any of the people who reported on the events. It had to go into character assassination in order to eliminate it.
Yeah,
Well, that's the best way to kill an idea.
He's a professional skeptic, and I like Michael a lot, and he's been on the podcast many times. But I actually had him debate Randall Carlson, and Graham Hancock about these ancient civilizations, and it wasn't very good for him. Like there were some clunky moments.
Because skeptics are believers.
Well, the problem is they're
In
believing.
skepticism.
They believe in skepticism.
The problem is being
Right.
a skeptic itself. It's
Yeah.
a stupid way to look at the world.
It's a choice.
Yeah.
You're actually
Yeah.
sure about something.
I mean, you should
Yeah.
be objective.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't be skeptical.
Right.
Being
Yeah.
skeptical is like, I don't know. But
I know for sure that that's not true.
Yeah.
but it serves a massive purpose for people that really don't understand things, and he can explain it to you in with actual science. As long as the actual science is being used, and it's not character
Yeah.
assassination, it's not mockery, it's not. There's certain people that are just debunkers. They
Yeah.
can call themselves skeptics, but they're not looking at things like, oh, maybe that is effective, maybe that is healthy, maybe
Yeah.
that is interesting. No, they don't look at it that way.
No.
They're looking at it, they're trying to pick it apart. And that's fine if you can pick it apart. But if you cannot, you have to be objective about the fact that, oh, well, this is a very interesting
Yeah.
phenomenon, and this is what we know about science, and this is what we know about this thing. And
Yeah.
right now we have a weird conundrum.
Did
Yeah.
Chariots of the Gods
Yeah.
man? Did he?
Eric von Daniken.
Was he? Was he a believer?
100%.
Yeah.
He's all
Still
in.
is.
Still in,
Still
all
is.
in. I asked him, the first thing I asked him, I said, what is
Can
the...
I pause?
Yeah.
I desperately have to go pee.
No, go.
Yeah.
The first thing I asked him was, what is the most compelling piece of evidence? And he pointed to this Mayan stone plaque that's in Palenque. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Is it in the book?
Yeah, it's a god, one of their former kings that is lying on his back, and he looks like he's moving some. Jamie, see if you could find that thing. It's this really cool carving that they found that looks like there's a guy who is in a seat, and it looks like there's fire behind his back, and you could say
ship, like he's
you
a
could
ship.
say that he's manipulating controls on a ship, and he's shooting a rocket into the heaven. I would like to see what the mainstream version of that is, because also it could just be art.
Yeah,
It could be-
imagination, right?
it could be that they knew about certain things being propelled by fire.
That
There
one?
it is.
Is
Yeah,
this one?
that's it. So if you see this, I mean, that's a big ass stretch to say that guy's in a spaceship. I don't know what the fuck that is. He's sitting down.
Looks like an altar, kind of, to me.
He could, yeah, but it does look like he's looking through an eyepiece, right?
That's true.
But what does that mean? Is it a telescope?
I don't
Maybe
know.
he's just got a telescope. I
Maybe
mean,
it's just an astronomer.
yeah, it is possible. I don't think they had telescopes.
No.
I don't think a telescope was even invented till
No. Did they even have glass at that point?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I don't know if the Mayans did.
Wow.
But that was his number one piece of evidence. I was like, that's kind of silly.
I mean, when we were kids in the 70s, Bigfoot, and Chariots of the Gods and everything was so new.
Hey, look at this image. Look at the bottom of it. Even the part where the flame's supposed to be coming out from below him.
Which flame?
Yeah.
Where's the
Where's the
what's
flame?
the flame?
I guess the flame is the shit at the very, very bottom. But I mean, I'm not even sure I buy that. If you were going to draw fire, you'd do a really shitty job if that's your fire.
That doesn't really look like fire to me. That
No.
looks like
Could be
an
anything.
ornate seat or
Right.
something.
Right. If that's fire, like what is all the stuff around him? What's all that stuff? Is that looks kind of mechanical though, right? It looks like there's bolts.
It does.
Did they have a fire god? Maybe they drew the fire god.
Is that it looks like a monkey
stretching,
kind of
making a
face.
stretch.
With titties.
on it.
Monkey's got some titties,
Oh, now I get it.
right?
Yeah.
And then the monkey's, is that his teeth?
It's the first
They
Hooters.
look like arms, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
It does. It could be arms. But that's the point. Is it's so open to interpretation. There's so much that you could see if you're looking to see it.
Yeah.
You were around when Pryor was in his heyday.
Oh yeah,
That must have been something.
oh yeah. We
So you were just kind of, that was in '74 when you were just getting there. Pryor, he was in the peak.
he was already
He was in the peak, right?
big time. Oh yeah, he was big time, and
What was that like?
he would. When I was around the comedy store, I was basically the host of the comedy store. When I emceed, and I go to the door. If they have a problem, I go to the door and settle the problem and all this stuff. Just Mitzi one. She knew I'd do all this stuff in it, and wasn't no fighting and I'm just being polite and stuff. And Richard would come in. I look at the back. Richard Pryor's in the back. I said, "What the hell you doing here, Richard? How you doing?" He knew Paul Mooney. Mooney was and David Banks. All these. Anytime you got all these guys at the comedy store, Richard wanted to do another album. So what happened is Richard, first time I saw Richard in the back, I said, Richard, how you doing? Spoon, I just come by to see how you doing. I said, fine, I'm doing, Richard. He never come by to see how I'm doing. He's just saying this to set it up for he want to work on his act for a new album. So I said, Richard, everything fine? You want to drink? No, Spoon. I'll be fine. You want to go on stage? No. Just come by and see how you doing. I said, oh, good. How you doing? How you doing, Richard? Blah, 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 blah. So I know to go away and come back. And so Richard, well, anything you want to drink? Then he want to drink now. So he want to drink. He get some little red drink he like with olive, what do you call that? Cherry in it. He like that kind of stuff. And so I know to go away. I go away. They told me Richard gonna drive you crazy. Richard come by. Richard gonna drive you crazy. So I go away, come back. Richard, everything all fine? You know, anything else you want? I said, want to go on stage? He said, no, Spoon, I don't want to go on stage. Just come in. I say, how you doing, Spoon? He always play with you. Hey, Spoon! How you doing? Be hollering Spoon real loud and shit. And so I go away and come back and say, Richard, do 2 minutes. Some people said Richard Pryor came by the comedy store. He said, sure, I'll go up there and do 2 minutes. He said, when do I go on? I said, you're going on right after this guy get off. I put you on right now. And he go up there and do 2 hours. Then he'll have his secretary call me the next day and say, thanks for helping me get on stage. He had to be pushed on stage.
That's so weird.
Yeah, that's amazing, ain't it? But Robin Williams, boop,
he would just run up there. But Richard would do like 2 hours? Was that a regular thing?
Hour and a half.
Regular thing, huh?
Well, his album, you know, he do his whole album. And then he had his writers in the back. Mooney would be there writing him, coaching him on stuff to say and all that stuff. He had all that. And then he would have 3 weeks in the original room where he would work every night. He'd come by every night.
Wow.
It ain't like some comics get too high and can't come by. He'll be by there every night. And so Mitzi put me on the show with him. So I would open the show and do 45 minutes, and then Richard would come on and do an hour and a half. And then we moved to the main room. After about a month in the original room, we moved to the main room. That's when, man, and he would draw. So Mitzi would make so much money. He would draw so many fucking people. Old hoes ain't been out on the street a long time with fur collars, fur coat, fake fur coat on, pink and yellow and shit. And he would have in the main room. He would have, oh my God, he had Mick Jagger. What's his name? The boy that what's his name? Willie Nelson. I talked Willie Nelson go up on the stage and sing a song in the original room.
Really?
Yeah. I said, really? You got your guitar? Yeah, I got it. I said, could you go up there and sing a song? I love Willie Nelson. He was so good. He's still around though. I'm scared to do it. I'm nervous. Don't be nervous with these fucking people. He went up there and sang one of his songs, boy. That was a thrill for me. So then we moved to the main room. But I would kill every night in an audience like that. I would get a standing ovation because I would do Mathis that I learned from Detroit and Nat King Cole and them. I would do Johnny Mathis at my last bit, and I would do Al Green just before that. I saw Al Green throw roses out to the ladies one time. I was at what is it? This theater down here. Anyway, he would throw roses. He handed roses to the ladies. So when I was working at the Comedy Store and I'm in front of Richard, I would get dandelions and hand in front of the ladies. And some lady did exactly what I wanted her to say. She said, Al Green, give us roses. I said, well, you lucky these ain't plastic because I ain't got no damn money. I go home and watch these so I can give them back to you tomorrow night. And I did that, and then did Johnny Mathis. This is just impressions that I added to my act because there are a lot of ladies out there and they love that shit. And I got the women threw the roses back at my feet. I said, damn, this shit is cool in the motherfucker. And Richard told me, I said, Richard, everybody said, Richard, you should take Spoon on the road with you. You going on the tour. He said, oh, I love you, Spoon, but you too funny. I can't have you out there on the road with me. He said I was too funny for him.
Wow.
And he took Finest, Finest Henderson?
Sure.
The Finest would do impressions and stuff. He did all the impressions. So he took him on the road.
He told you were too funny?
Spoon, you too funny. I love you, but you too damn funny. You're open for me. I don't want to have to work that damn hard. The women would throw the roses back at my feet, boy, them dandelions.
That's hilarious.
That was a great compliment. But I have the billboard of the Comedy Store with Richard Pryor and John Witherspoon.
Wow.
I had it somewhere in my phone.
Yeah, you. I think Mom posted it, and then
yeah, she did.
And then I think I helped you repost it on your IG story, and then the Comedy Store screenshotted it and posted it. And
did they?
Yeah, they did that. They did that like a month or two ago.
Wow.
But older day, Richard Pryor had his own TV show. You know, he's on NBC at 8 o'clock, and he was so fucking high, boy. Richard, I knew we weren't gonna last. I knew that shit. We only did 4 shows. We had scheduled 22. Richard was too fucking high. And oh man,
what was he high on?
Cocaine and vodka and stuff, you know. But I didn't have no money. I probably would have got me something if I had some money. I ain't had no damn money. I'm making this little $400 that they giving me for this week. He said, y'all ain't making no money, but I'm making $250,000 a show. I said, damn. Man.
Wow, he's making that much?
See, there you go. Look at there.
Richard Pryor and John Witherspoon. Wow.
Man, it don't tell the year. I wish I had the year up there. Probably 77.
God, that's amazing.
77. But I know Richard, we used to go over his house every Sunday. We used to be over his house every Sunday. And he had barbecue. He had people, he got a gym, boxing gym where you box, tennis court, swimming pool. He had about 4 acres over there. And I remember,
Where was it?
It's on Parthenia. That house there was for sale recently for about $4 million. But I don't think people realize that Richard Pryor lived in that. They don't want to do that because he caught on fire over there.
Whoa!
Remember the time he got caught on fire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was that house?
It was in the house there. Yeah.
Fuck, I would love to own that.
That's
house.
in like Northridge or something, Parthenia.
Yeah, it's on Parthenia. When I was doing Black
North
Jesus,
Hills.
it's right down the street of North Hills. Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to go over there every Sunday.
Imagine owning Richard Pryor's old house.
It's kind of cool. Yeah.
I don't want to go in there. That spirit might hit me. He on fire, gonna run past the swimming pool. You know that he was.
Those cocaine days must have been crazy there.
Oh man! And what's amazing about this is so cold, boy. When the stuff got on radio that Richard Pryor is in the hospital in critical condition, from burns from a pipe that blew up. His family went there and stole all of his people that he probably never seen in years. Jumped over that damn. You had this huge fence and stole all his watches and everything. And all this stuff was taken out of his house. Then they say he's going to survive. They jumped back over the fence and put it back.
No.
What?
They jumped back over the fence with his stuff.
They put it back?
Yeah, they put it back. Richard Pryor going to steal his stuff. You've been borrowed from him for 20 years, and all of a sudden you're going to steal his watch?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hard to be
But
at the
we
top.
had so much fun over there. And Sammy Davis Jr. would come there every Sunday in a limousine and a tuxedo on. We got shorts on, the raggedest shorts you can find, old T-shirt. We playing basketball. Sammy come at the hi man. Sammy, go put some fucking shorts on.
How old was he back then?
Sammy?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet this was 76, so he must have been, he was young then. Because he died about 60, he was 62, 63.
Oh, really?
He must have been in his 50s, 40s or 50s.
Tuxedo, huh?
Tuxedo.
And a limousine.
Imagine being a
And the guy
fly on
opened
the
a
wall, and Sammy Davis Jr. pulls up in a tuxedo.
Oh, man.
Steps out of a limousine.
We all so
while they're playing basketball.
we all so fucking raggedy, stinking. We done play ball all day long. Sammy walked past him. Hi, man. Sammy, wrong house, wrong day. Come on, play some ball with us, Sammy. But
there he is. Look at that.
It was.
Hey,
look how sharp he is.
Wow, look at the bell bottoms.
Oh yeah, that's the day. That's the day, brother.
Wow,
Richard,
that is crazy.
Richard played tennis.
Did he?
Yeah, he played tennis. Yeah, and basketball. We playing ball, Richard. He checking me and grabbing my dick. I said, Richard, this ain't no basketball. Spoon, I got to check it. I can check it only way I know. Richard, back off me, brother.
Oh, God.
He was a funny man.
It is the coolest thing I've done.
Really? Ever?
Well, I can't remember that far back, but it's pretty cool.
I watched your TED Talk on, what was the word that you used? Lesterland?
Lesterland.
Yeah. And it felt hopeless. Like for people who don't know what I'm talking about, could you just give like a brief synopsis of the way you were describing how completely rigged our election system is, and what it actually takes to be elected, and how much of the time they spend is involved in raising money and why?
Yeah, so we've got a system where we have a money primary and then we have a regular election. And in the money primary, to compete, you got to raise tons of money to be able to fund your campaign. And when you raise that money, you raise it from a tiny, tiny fraction of the 1%. So in the TED Talk about Lesterland, I said, imagine a place called Lesterland, where basically it's the Lesters who rule. And by the Lesters, I mean the same proportion of people named Lester as in the United States right now. So there's about 150,000 Americans named Lester. I'm one of them. But here we are, the Lesters. So imagine a world ruled by Lesterland. Because that's essentially the world we have because of the way we fund our campaigns. Because there's about 150,000 men who give even just the maximum contribution to one political candidate. If you ask the number of people who give the maximum contribution over the course of a campaign, meaning in the primary and the general election, it's about 22,000 Americans in 2014 who gave the maximum contribution to one political campaign. So what that means is it's a tiny, tiny fraction who are the most important funders of political campaigns. And candidates for Congress and members of Congress spend 30 to 70% of their time sucking up to this tiny, tiny fraction. And so is it any surprise that you see Congress bending over backwards to keep those guys happy? Because they know without those people, they don't have a shot at getting back into Congress.
And the way you were describing it, as when you were saying it as Lesterland, it was like, imagine if we were this screwed up. That was essentially what you were saying.
Yeah.
But we're more screwed up than Lesterland.
Yeah, we're more screwed
That was a disturbing video. Because I was realizing it was emerging as you were speaking. I was like, wait a minute. Is it that bad?
Yeah. I actually, since that video, have come to think it's even worse.
So
right? Because,
like Clarence Land?
Well, it could be worse because it's even a smaller number. And if you look at the number of super PAC donors, the really critical super PAC donors, about 100 people who gave more than half of the super PAC money in the last presidential election. 100. So this is a really tiny, tiny number. But what this tiny number represents in the way we fund campaigns is the extraordinary inequality on that dimension, right? But since I was focused on the money, I've more recently started thinking about the other screwed up dimensions. So think about gerrymandering. We gerrymander districts in America so that about 85% of the House seats in the United States Congress are safe seats, which means if you're a Republican in a safe seat Democratic district, your views just never matter to the congressperson because that vote of a Republican will never determine who's in Congress. Or a Democrat in a safe seat Republican district, that's the same. Okay, but that doesn't mean those congresspeople are not afraid about re-election. Of course, they are afraid about whether they'll be reelected, but they're afraid not of a Democrat running against a Republican. They're afraid of an even more extreme Republican running against the incumbent Republican. So what those incumbents in those safe seat districts do is they obsess about what the extremist in their own party cares about. So the extremists on the left and the right have this ability to leverage extraordinary influence inside of the House of Representatives simply because we've decided to gerrymander these districts to create these safe seats. So those extremists are a kind of Lesters too. There are more of them. It's more democratic than Lesterland. But they too have enormous influence over ordinary people, and most ordinary people's views then to these Congress people just don't matter.
That feels hopeless for a dummy like me sitting on the outside looking at this. I'm like, God, if this is this deeply entrenched with, I guess it's not technically corruption because it's all legal,
right?
But it's an entanglement with money and with influence that I mean, how do you unwind this?
Yeah. So that point is really critical. It's not technically illegal. And what that means is the people who are engaged in this are not doing wrong things. They're just playing by the rules.
Right.
They're playing with the system. It's just that the system has become corrupted.
When did it start?
Well, I think that the moment the United States Congress begins to fall apart in a really dramatic and interesting way is when Newt Gingrich becomes Speaker of the House. So when the Republicans take control of Congress in 95, it's the first time the Republicans have taken control of the House of Representatives in 40 years. So the House becomes incredibly competitive. Each election, is up for grabs. Who's going to control the House? So Gingrich turns his members in the House into perpetual fundraisers. It's basically, we got to raise the money to defend ourselves the next time around. And then the Democrats followed suit. So the Democrats turned their members into perpetual fundraisers. And they changed the rules about like who gets to be chairman of committees. It's no longer like who's the person with the most experience or the most insight. Increasingly becomes who raises the most money. And the Democratic Party, I know about the Democratic Party, the Republicans don't talk to me much, but the Democratic Party increasingly changes its focus from what are the policies that our members care about to what are we going to do to make sure that you as a member meet your fundraising target? And so from 95 until today, the institution becomes an institution focused on the game of getting reelected. Jim Cooper, a Democrat from Tennessee who went to Congress first in like 1983, so he's been there for a long time. Cooper says Capitol Hill has become a kind of farm league for K Street. Okay, so what he means by that is members go there, they learn how to raise money, they become focused obsessively on raising money. But one of the things that they're really focused on is how do they go from Capitol Hill to becoming a lobbyist? Because that's where the real money is. A member of Congress gets paid about as much as the students I educate at the Harvard Law School in their first year as lawyers. So to ordinary Americans, it's a lot of money, but to people on Capitol Hill, it doesn't seem like a lot of money. But then they go and become a lobbyist. They can make 10 times that as a lobbyist. And so what Cooper says is you have this institution which has become so focused on the money that it's just an institution for producing influence that can be sold. And first the congressmen are basically sucking up to the people who want to buy influence. And then the congressmen become the people buying influence themselves because they're working as lobbyists for these important interests.
So they're in the rig game. They understand how it gets rigged, and then they work to rig it.
Yeah. Yeah. They see this as their business plan.
And it's their honeypot.
Yeah.